Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Tonight we're back here with Re-Res with another round of Just Bad Games. I'm actually back from the old appointment, so don't have to worry about waking up early anymore. Tonight's Just Bad Game is on Metal Gear, Snake's Revenge. Now, it's kind of ironic that I'm actually covering this, because the Nintendo Direct recently revealed the Metal Gear collection for the Switch, and get what's a part of it. This very game. I don't know why Konami's doing this, but, well, we're about to find out. So, let's just hop in and see why it's a bad game. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Let's check it out. Let's go.
This is the ghost of
the money ghost.
wasted on Snake's Revenge. Who is this? Hello?
Did you dial something else?
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. Why are you breathing so heavily?
You can call me.
A Kodak advertisement from Makeshift.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Makeshift.com is now taking orders for a brand new Money
plushie.
Ghost plushie, designed off of everyone's favorite ghost seen in countless episodes of Just Bad Games.
You made me into a plushie?
That's right.
It's not the first
The
time.
design
It's
can
done
sit
it before.
right next to your original existing plushies, or can stand alone to remind you of all your questionable purchasing decisions.
Who gave you permission to turn me into a fluffy toy?
We don't need
We own you!
Just like we don't need permission to offer these fantastic little fellas to everyone out there watching right now.
This is an advertisement getting streamed straight into my head. It's maddening. How do I hang up this call? Oh, my disconnect button. It's not working.
I disconnected the disconnect button.
It's an
You can do that?
overwhelming, irritating, unstoppable advertisement call. I can't escape this.
Just like you can't escape the fantastic price we're offering on these plushie money ghosts.
Must end transmission.
Oh, downloader.
Must chew through the wires of codec equipment to stop this call.
Isn't Kodak from
Unlike this
the
call,
mine
this
thing?
special plushie offer will eventually stop. So act now and visit Makeshift.com to get your plushie while supplies last. Don't become the ghost
might
of
wanna look at
regretting
that.
that you didn't get a
That
plushie.
isn't-
Don't delay. Visit Makeshift.com today.
He actually chewed through it. He actually done it.
Hate advertisements.
Okay, yes, we get it.
Snake's Revenge is a stealth action video game developed by Konami and published under their Ultra Games label for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1990. The game features a team of Special Force commandos on a mission to...
Wait, nope, nuh-uh.
What?
Huh?
You're not
What do you
burying
know?
the lead. Rip the Band-Aid off. Get it out in the open. Snake's Revenge is a sequel to a popular game released on the NES in 1988, a title most gaming fans out there are well aware of.
Well, yeah,
Metal Gear.
But it's kind of complicated and there's just so much to
Yeah,
talk
quality.
about.
Metal Gear! Fair.
Okay, right.
Can't think of
Metal
it, though.
Gear, the tactical espionage series that revolutionized stealth gameplay and spawned successful spin-offs. Snake's Revenge is
Not all of them.
all that sort of. I think it depends on who you ask.
For example, if you were to
Oh.
ask this
Oh.
guy, he'd likely
Miyamoto.
say,
No, Snake's
Kojima?
Revenge is not canonically connected to what we now know as the Metal Gear series.
That's Hideo
Huh.
Kojima, games design veteran.
AKA the
And
god of Metal
innovation
Gear.
Stacked track record. What incredible series did he help deliver to home computers in the back half of the 80s?
Penguin
Metal Gear-
Adventure, a game about
Huh?
a strutting penguin who floats on clouds, gambles with fish, and...
Gear?
Oh, you cheeky little guy.
Yeah, true. But
That-
also Metal Gear.
There we
The
go.
original Metal Gear was published by Konami for the MSX2 computer platform in Japan and Europe in 1987. This sneaky action game not only introduced the world to tough-as-nails protagonist Solid Snake, but to many gameplay elements we see in modern stealth titles today.
Emphasis on covert puzzle-like traversal? Check.
Unaware
Ding.
foe takedowns? Check.
Ding.
Wearing cardboard and freaking out when you accidentally inch forward and get caught by the enemy? Check.
God
Metal
dang.
Gear received high praise upon release and sold
pretty
very
good.
well on the MSX2 platform.
The game's success saw a port delivered to home consoles with a Famicom release the same year and a North
Cool.
American NES version in 1988.
But this
Thank
port-
you.
This is where the Metal Gear Hideo Kojima connection branches in very different directions.
And
Really?
things get weird.
The original Metal Gear team did not work on the Famicom and NES port of the game. No,
Huh.
in fact, they never
Oh?
consented to a port being produced at all. The project
Really?
was
The
pushed
port?
to a different team in a different location, making use of the original MSX2 source code. Yikes.
Oof. Yikes. No wonder Kojima left him. Like, you guys know, Kojima was like, I guess, done with what Konami was doing. It was like, peace, bitches, I'm out. And you guys know the story. They pretty much blackballed this guy so much that he had to create his own studio to give us Death Stranding. Yeah. I'm not kidding. Yeesh. I mean, if that was an early clue, oh boy. You know things between Konami and Kojima, not gonna last long. Oof.
Yes, we've always been this bad.
Despite making use of that
Dickhead.
original Metal Gear source code, this port was a different Metal Gear. The team tooling the game for consoles had to dial back
I'm not seeing
elements
it,
due
you
to
know.
hardware limitations. On top of that, they were told by management at Konami to
Differentiate
make
from
the
the
game
Famicom.
different from the MSX2 version.
That sounds like an insane amount of
Okay.
work. How long did it take?
How
Let's
long
see.
did it take? They were
3
given
months?
3 months.
You're kidding me.
Kidding me.
Still very bad.
Nope, and good
Still
luck,
evil.
because they delivered. They produced the first official Metal Gear North American players could experience.
But with so many constraints on the port, it begs the
jeez.
question, how does it play?
Great question. Let's take a look.
First things first, right off the bat, the English translation
Ugh.
probably could have used
Yeah.
another pass.
Oops. Again, only 3 months.
Overall, the game doesn't leave a great first impression. The controls are stiff,
Yeah, I
and
think
the
for us,
hitboxes on
this
enemies
was
are
like,
really hard
nah.
to read. The game is largely dependent on staying unseen, attacking incognito at just the right second. Unfortunately, you're gonna find yourself slapping air. A lot.
I think so.
Try to get a little closer and...
That.
Yeah, that
Ouch.
happens all the time. You're either too far away to connect or so close
And
that you
again,
put enemies on alert.
rematch.
Gotta rewire your brain to understand the hittable sweet spots in this game. And even when you think you've got it,
Nope.
you probably don't.
Hand-to-hand
Oh,
combat
motherfucker.
isn't the only
Really?
temperamental system in this port. General hiding ain't so perfect either. Sometimes you'll alert enemies even if you think you're well out of sight.
Combination of flawed sneaks and clumsy melee leads to a lot of unnecessary frustration.
Like so.
How about game world gating that makes the player acquire numbered cards to open doors? It doesn't sound so bad, right? Plenty of games
Let me
use
guess.
keys.
Problem here is that
Not so
cards
much.
need to be equipped. This means jumping back and forth in a slow, clunky menu.
Oh, and the doors? Not labeled. You never know what card you need to use on which door. Cumbersome when you have just a couple cards, but when you get more and more that are all utilized continuously throughout the game, every new entryway turns into this.
You find a door, you try to open the door. You have the wrong keycard equipped, you bring up the gear menu. Equip new card, you try to open the door. You have the wrong keycard equipped, you bring up the gear menu. Equip new card, you try to open the door. You have the wrong keycard equipped, you bring up the gear menu.
Judge! Yeah, you'll have more fun playing 52 pickup.
So,
Pretty
Metal Gear 4
much.
in a nutshell? Wonky combat, underbaked stealth, questionable localization, and Snake's most treacherous foe is Metal Hatch with Handle. Right.
AKA
All
door.
that said, is this a terrible game?
Well, Hideo Kojima's not a fan. He said
I mean, I can't blame
the
him.
NES version was a pitiful,
Title.
developed cheaply and
Simply
simply
by a
small
small
team in
Tokyo.
Tokyo. I came across the game in a bargain bin and tried playing it, but the game design is pretty bad.
Strong words.
Ouch.
And while we had many irritations playing North America's Metal Gear, we also had a bit of a revelation playing both the NES and MSX2 versions back to back.
The
Oh, that sounded
original
good.
MSX2 Metal Gear, not perfect either. In fact, it shares some of the same flaws as its weird NES counterpart.
Seriously, movement? Pretty darn stiff. Hand-to-hand combat? Imprecise and hard to predict. The stealth system? Rough. Heck,
I mean,
when the
Kojima's
MSX2
first game,
version
what
of
are you
Metal
gonna do?
Gear trickled to parts of Europe, even its translation was, not
Yeesh.
perfect.
Oh, and the time-consuming, momentum-halting keycard shuffle started right
Yeah.
there with the original release.
Now, it's not to say that both the original Metal Gear and its NES port are the same overall quality, because they're not. Even with the jank overlap, the MSX2 Metal Gear still looks better and offers a world that, in our opinion, is more thoughtfully designed.
The MSX2 release was was an ambitious and important title. It solidified stealth genre staples and kicked off an impressive narrative. On launch, it was like nothing else. You can cut it some slack.
The NES version? A 3-month underbaked altered port. One that contains the flaws of the original and then adds more. It changes locations, story beats, it has no Metal Gear.
Let's reiterate that. It has
there's no Metal Gear, despite being in
the game's named after. They replaced the Metal Gear boss fight from the original game with this.
A giant
Hey,
freaking
computer?
TV.
大きなモニターしか出てこないっていうことで、僕の中ではクソゲーですね、あれはやっぱり。
Yes, it's technically a computer, but I mean, it just looks like a big TV, right? That's just what it looks like.
Oh, certainly
Good
way
Lord.
more visually appealing than a giant bipedal war machine.
Anyway, with all
Come
those
on.
differences in mind, still, the core gameplay of the NES port is faithful to the original.
Small.
They kinda made it work. The rejigged port was reviewed favorably abroad.
Okay.
It also proved to
Third
be
one.
quite lucrative for Konami. And when a
Million.
game makes a splash and pulls in a fair chunk of change,
AKA
it
million.
can mean only one thing.
Say it with
Sequel
us now.
time!
Time for a sequel!
Oh boy, great news! Konami must have speed-dialed Metal Gear's original team to apologize about the port
Let me
and then
guess.
get the ball rolling on a proper follow-up. A game that could expand the ideas sown into Metal Gear's innovative MSX2 release.
Konami didn't tell them.
What?
こ
Ouch.
の部署で続編が
Wait,
作ら
the
れて
NES
当然僕は
version?
関与してませんので。
Konami
Holy-
did not inform the original team that the company was making a sequel.
But how?
Just as the company
Really?
handled the NES port, they started a follow-up tailored for Western audiences without the consent of the original creators. They didn't know about it at all.
That's baffling. They conceptualized Metal Gear.
They did.
The port wouldn't have succeeded if it wasn't for their work.
You are correct, sir.
I mean, wouldn't the original team end up finding out about a backdoor follow-up to their game? They all work at the same company.
Oh, they did.
Oh, yeah,
And
different
that's where
branches,
the Metal
right?
Gear saga takes another definitive turn.
Uh-oh.
Gotta hear this.
You see, heading home one day, Hideo Kojima had a conversation with an associate from the original Metal Gear team. This programmer had
Yeah?
moved to the NES division of Konami. He informed Kojima
Nintendo?
that he had reservations about working on a sequel to Metal Gear, as he personally thought any Metal Gear game should have Kojima's involvement. As you can imagine, the
Yeah,
sequel
Kojima's
with
just like,
Kojima
"Hold
was
up!"
pretty surprised by this. He was also shocked to hear that the project was already well into production.
No way! Hideo Kojima
Wow.
was told secondhand that a sequel to the property he helped create wasn't just on the table, but was already being made.
And this was a pivotal moment in the history of Metal Gear. After the big news bombshell cleared,
Holy-
Mr. Kojima got to thinking, hey, what if I made a sequel to my game that isn't the sequel that those other folks are making? That's exactly how
Wait, what?
Kojima sounds. And just like that, boom! The next week, he hands Konami a proposal for his vision. It gets greenlit, and that game, Metal Gear 2 Solid
Solid
Snake.
Snake.
Released exclusively in Japan on the MSX2
PS2.
platform in 1990, Solid Snake iterated incredibly
look at
on the
that.
groundwork of the original Metal Gear.
That's right. Metal Gear 2 introduced the series' iconic radar system, improved enemy AI, unique and challenging bosses, new stealth mechanics, an upgraded weapons roster, a richer story, and an avalanche of other elements. It can be seen as a direct through line to the mega popular follow-up series, Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear 2 was an undeniably influential title in the stealth video game genre.
unbelievable.
Really cool. But what about that other sequel?
Oh,
Sons
yeah,
of
the
Liberty?
It's pretty great.
No, the other sequel.
Come on, drag it.
Peter? One of my all-time favorites.
No,
Come
the
on.
other sequel, Snake's Revenge, literally the first 2 words spoken in this video.
VR missions?
Come on, man!
Stop it!
We can't delay it any longer. We need to experience the regional exclusive sequel to the lesser port of the game that started it all.
Come on.
It's time to hush up and expertly infiltrate the macho adventure that is Metal Gear's Black Sheep release. Let's get even in Snake's Revenge.
Wow. I mean, let's be real. Like, I can't even imagine what Kojima must have felt. Like, sheesh. Like, seriously. They ported his game without telling him, or even his permission, and then they go and make a sequel without telling the dude, and he had to learn secondhand. And he just going up and make his game with, like, just water under the bridge. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, but if I was Kojima and I learned that, you know, the whole, they made a sequel to the game I didn't make with my title, yeah, I'd be like, Fuck you, Konami. I'm going to Nintendo. Come on, dude. What are you doing? I mean, to be fair, I think in the Japanese work market, you kind of have to, like, owe loyalty to your boss since, you know, they're the one that gave you the job, so... Oof. You gotta feel bad for Kojima. Even back then, he was getting shafted. Oof. But anywho, time to see the Western sequel, Metal Gear, Snake's Revenge. Honestly, see why this one's never really officially recognized as part of the franchise. Let's see.
On startup, the game rolls a cutscene. In it, we get something that was severely lacking from the game's North American predecessor.
An actual freaking Metal Gear. Or its schematics, at least. This 226-ton tank is capable of carrying and dispersing nuclear weapons from all angles, which is probably supposed to mean from any terrain or location. It's a deadly weapon that is notoriously difficult to take down.
Unless it's replaced with a television.
Yes, right.
Or with grenades, or with a sword.
Starting the game, we get a message for Lieutenant Snake. There's a weapon at the enemy's base. It could be, probably not a TV, Metal Gear. Snake's mission, investigate with his expert team, including infiltration pro John Turner and explosives disposal and weapons expert Nick Meyer.
Okay, cool.
John Turner and Nick Meyer?
Questions.
Shoot.
What the heck is going on? Where's Snake going? Who's the enemy? How do the bad guys have nuclear weapons and possible access to a Metal Gear war machine?
Yeah, not a load of details here, huh?
Yeah, no
let's
name.
look at the game box. Okay, here. It says that the villain from the first
Colonel
game,
Vernon
Katafi, sought asylum from another bad guy called
Hayarola
Hakamami after defeat.
Hayarola Kakamami? Vernon Katafi? That wasn't the villain from the first game at all. Which, by the way, on the box art.
I know, it is.
So they wrote the sequel by just writing what they saw on the box
They looked at
art.
the box from the first one and brought it over to the second one. It says here that
Konami that lazy?
The
Wait, Ultra Sheep
nuclear
tank?
tank Metal Gear
What?
to Kakamami as a thank you gift. Ooh, also, a foxy spy named Jennifer helps Snake on his mission.
This is so random. It's so
Yeah,
dumb.
no kidding.
Oh, wait, more in the manual.
Now what?
Looks
Wait.
like Snake and his team are heading to Ishkabibble, capital city of Terristan.
Terristan? It can't be serious.
I mean,
Oh, they
Pat
are.
is staying with
Apparently,
terror.
they're going there in order to infiltrate Hayarola
Fort
Kakamami's
Fantastic.
compound in terrorist
Fanatic.
sanctuary,
Fortress Fanatic.
which holds pots,
Pots.
brimming with vital information.
Boom, boom.
Prisoners of
Oh,
terrorism.
prisoner.
Oh, right.
Wait, isn't that
Are we
POW,
done
not
with the
pot?
exposition, or should I continue molting brain cells?
We should probably play the game.
Yeah, please.
Should.
The mission starts with Snake, John, and Nick separating into what we can only assume are the wilds of Terristan.
Here he is, folks. Tactical espionage specialist, solid
Why does he have
Iconic
jaundice?
hunchback.
His tiny baby feet. Hey. Skipping leg day helps the sneaks. Moving on to the next screen,
Sure.
it's dark, but we've got fireworks?
I think that's supposed to be a flare. Looking at the game's HUD,
probably.
we got Snake's life, some kind of ranking system. Oh, and would you look at that?
His
Snake
gun
starts with
and
a gun. How off-brand.
Right. Metal Gear titles usually have the hero start in seclusion with few tools. It forces the player to familiarize themselves with a passive approach to deadly scenarios. Strategic sneaking,
Let me guess. They're
stealth
not gonna do that.
takedowns, close quarters combat. These skills are naturally ingrained in the player as there's usually no easy way to deal with enemies at the start.
Okay, that in mind, let's try to keep the sidearm holstered and stick with our mitts.
Hold up, we've
Wait,
got
what
a
the-
call.
a call?
Activate the transceiver.
Mr. Helicopter
Purpose of your
says
mission
we
is
need
to infiltrate
the enemy base. Looks like we need to get information from our coworkers.
Co-worker?
Co-workers? Really? Are they a specialized military task force or desk jockeys?
Never mind.
I don't know,
Keep moving.
probably
Who knows
comrades?
what blood-curdling war machines the enemy has sniffing us out?
Yep, not a flare. What the?
Are those
What am I looking
parts
at?
With little spinny propellers?
The manual calls them Helisnoops.
We've been spotted! Move! Move!
Wait, where'd you guys come from? Wait, are we supposed to? Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. Maybe this
That
will
happened?
be a walk in the park. Let's try that again.
Wait,
Here
there's a
we
password
go.
system?
Moving, moving. Avoid heli snoops.
Okay.
Nice! Looks like the coast is clear this time. Another flare.
Wait, back up!
Oh, wait,
Wait, what the?
The enemy spawned directly on us.
How were we supposed to know he'd be there.
The jig's up. Book it. Go, go, go.
Give up on passive play. We'll shoot our way out.
Hey!
So much for that.
Really?
You
Are
tried.
you kidding with this? You can't just advance the screen in a stealth game, immediately place an enemy on the player, and then penalize them for getting caught. It's unfair.
Dude.
It's cheap.
This doesn't bode well for the rest of Snake's mission.
Nope.
Try it again.
All right, we'll take the less subtle approach. Maybe we can run through most of this mess.
Well done. And with one whole nugget of life left. Great.
So
Hey,
one
at
shot,
least we
you're
can
dead.
Move on to a nightmare of spotlights.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
jeez, come on. We can't see anything. Shouldn't the first level ease the player into the action?
Look, this must be one of those pots we read about in the manual.
Right? A prisoner
Oh,
of
prisoner of
terrorism.
terrorism.
Cleverly
Oh, boy.
hidden in plain sight. Outside. With no
Yep.
guards.
Maybe the pot has intel.
Okay, thanks for your help.
Doesn't have intel.
Well, no harm. We did a good thing and can get right back to sneakily sneak. Oh, come on!
This is really starting to get
You
on my nerves.
really gotta be on your
Because
toes
if
in
enemy
this game.
spawning in your face isn't
Yeah,
bad
like
enough,
that.
this level's designed so you have no time to react to spotlights.
Lucky for us, enemy soldiers are about as smart as a mouthful of packing peanuts.
Hello.
Let's keep moving.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
at least here we can try to get out of the game.
Did you try not to go down? Oh, what?
You can't do that. You can't introduce security lights that need to be avoided and then penalize the player for trying to avoid them. We don't psychically know what's in the blacked out terrain. It's unknowable.
We keep marching
Yeah, come on,
around,
dude.
stubbing our brains on all kinds of early game dumb.
Like when we discovered the ragtag militia shoots in 8 directions, while Special Forces Super Soldier Solid
Only
Snake
4.
only shoots in 4.
Or when we popped into plenty more frustratingly unavoidable stealth fails.
Like that? Ah, motherfucker.
Or when we witness moments where the enemy should have spotted us, but didn't. What are the rules here? How do we get
Well, how-
seen? How do we not? It's madness.
We had dozens of teeth-grinding visits to the land of game over.
Eventually, we made it to the outskirts of some kind of base guarded by a bunch of henchmen that
Oh,
are
boy.
immediately alerted when the screen loads. Take care of them, and you'd assume you can open the door here.
Let me guess.
No.
No.
Guess we have to come back with a key card that we don't have.
A couple screens over, we get a message from our pal John, who tells us, hide at the main
Hide at the main
gate
gate to receive information.
Main gate? What main
Wait,
gate?
is he
We
talking
combed
about
the
Earth?
entire stealth jungle labyrinth and found 2 entrances. At both locations, we didn't receive information.
We try backtracking to the gate we were just at, and
And then you're dead.
John, I don't think hide is an option here. The enemies hide bullets in my skull. Lost
Pretty
and not
much.
sure what the game wants
Poor
from us,
Snake.
we revisit every section of the map. Yay! Loads of fun with stealth this broken.
we got so frustrated trying to carefully sneak around that we actually invented a little strategy to take the stress out of moving through the jungle.
That being-
We notice 2 things happen when we're spotted by enemies.
1, every section of the map lights up, taking away spotlights and other enemies.
And 2, this continues until a 3-enemy search crew is killed off.
3 enemy soldiers, a pain to deal with.
But 1 enemy soldier, manageable.
So, we left a single soldier chasing our tails through the friendlier forests of Terristan.
Great way to get around. He's our angry little chaperone.
Eventually, we went back to one of the gates, and this happened.
Oh, now you call us. Lieutenant, we're at that point 8. Let's put the plan into effect.
Wait, what? Why didn't the enemy attack us? Why did John call? We came to this freaking location a gazillion times.
Let's see here. I think we entered the screen slightly lower than we did every other time. Guess that's what John meant by saying hide at the main gate.
Hyper-specific positionally triggered events?
Oh boy.
I hate this game.
John's awesome.
Yeah, this is not looking good. This is more cheap knockoff than actual Metal Gear. I think like Plastic Spring at this point. Like seriously, what? It doesn't really reward stealth. You're just getting forced into like armed combat. Are we sure we're playing Solid Snake? Oh boy. Anyway,
Some plan is put into action, which consists of him immediately surrendering and hoping they leave the door open.
Which they do.
Masterful plan, John. You get captured and tortured, and I'll sneak through the door they might accidentally leave open. Thinks outside the box. Snake can now venture inside to reveal an industrial facility that has more of the classic Metal Gear vibe we know and love.
Huh? Looks like we got the keycard system here too.
one.
Hope they rejigged the card juggling mess from the first game.
We equip our
Shall I
level
find
1
one?
door opener and poke around. It even lets us go outside. Hey, I remember this place. It was one of the gates we were trying to access earlier. Except now, there's a silencer on the
Pipe?
ground. Guess it manifested at some point.
Should be able to use our firearm without alerting enemies as easily now.
Let's head back in and try it out.
Oh, yes, no?
Dang it! Can't say that's the silencer's fault, but gosh, look at this! We can't take this guy out! Our bullets disappear after a few feet. Great. Nerfed bullets.
Oh, we get it. They don't want weapons easily taking out bad guys from afar. Metal Gear titles are designed to make players focus on close quarters takedowns.
Then don't give us a freaking gun. When enemy bullets travel the length of a screen and snakes mysteriously vanish, it looks really,
Bad.
really dumb.
Eventually,
And
we
back to
find
it.
a pot who tells us John moved to a different spot.
We'll assume this wasn't of John's own volition. Again, great plan, John.
Then we find keycard 2, which leads us to officially confirm
We still need to shuffle cards to open non-labeled doors. Of all the
Son of a
things
bitch.
to bring back
Why?
from the first game, this was not one of them.
our fancy new keycard gives us access to an enemy commander that can't be killed? Okay.
We're clueless as to
we
what to do
try?
with this guy until we backtrack and rotate keycards on a couple of doors. That's when we find this. Truth gas. Good thing they leave this stuff just lying around.
Time to go back to that enemy commander and fill him full of jabber juice.
Top it up. Our weapons are ready.
Weapons are ready? Wow. Sure am glad we spent precious time backtracking and risking our lives for that precious intel.
More sneaks and super slick takedowns later.
Son of a bitch.
Gather equipment like a submachine gun, plastic explosives, and grenades. We even managed to pull an oxygen tank from a room filled with deadly wall farts. Spooky!
Oh, Shane, look, cameras.
Motherfucker!
We dust Snake's corpse off the linoleum and find an elevator. Then, something wild happens.
Whoa, the game changes. We're now attacking and platforming from a side perspective.
Looks
The
like
hell?
they've mixed Metal Gear with
with
Konami's
Russian
non-stop
Attack.
action super hit, Russian Attack.
What? Oh, motherfucker.
I mean, not well.
In these sections, you'll do your best to stealthily take out enemies and avoid cameras while using an oxygen tank that's likely designed for a guinea pig.
Water breaching the lungs in 5 seconds flat? I can hold my breath longer than that, and I'm not a trained super soldier like Mr. Snake here. Watch.
I'm good.
Shane died. We really can't stress how terrible this plays. Stiff, directionally committed jumps combined with uneven terrain makes for super janky stealth and combat. The control layout changes to compensate for the added jump, and your equipment is used differently.
It feels worse than regular gameplay, and regular gameplay ain't all that great.
After a few stealth hitches, we make our way through the Tunnel of Loathe and into...
Some kind of sports ball event.
Hut! Hut!
Can't be real.
What is this, football?
one
One can avoid or
our
attack.
attack.
Eh?
Well,
They literally
weren't
blitzed
lying.
What the
us.
heck's going on here? How could we be ready for that? Why is Team Terrastan practicing plays on Snake's spleen?
I mean, we're not even grasping for straws here, right? This
The hell?
is straight up a football team.
First boss
Yeah.
in Snake's Revenge, the John Madden Tackle Buddies.
Now, see what you got here is you got your men in a circle formation, right? And
1v.
they're gonna come on down and they're gonna knock Snake down with all their force, all their might. See, you see over here in this section, this is where Snake is, and these guys have to go down there. Now Snake can go over here or over there, but he doesn't have enough space to really go anywhere.
And-
So he doesn't really have much he can do. It really is. It really is.
Really sucks.
Just a bad situation for Snake here. I personally don't see a way
Thanks,
where
Madden.
he's going to be able to survive this at all.
Snake died 10 minutes ago, sir.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a little late.
Too busy, with the circles and the drawings. It's a really fun system.
We fumble to the
Oh boy. Really? Football in Terroristan? Really? I'm pretty sure there ain't no American football in the Middle East. Yeah, come on, you know what's Middle East. How do you not, like, is there an easier way to do this? Like, you could have just had a dodge roll like we could do in later games, but nope. Guess they forgot. Morons. Anyway.
Floor every time.
We try our fists. Our fancy new machine gun.
Nope.
Ugh, my spine. They're going away this year.
The only way to conquer the Terroristan home team is by picking them off one by one. Sure, they'll treat Snake's body like the baby-footed tackle dummy he is, but you just gotta walk it off, shoot, and then chomp down whatever rations you got.
Hey, being a punching bag may look like the easy way out, but it's our Hail Mary.
Pretty much.
Time to get out of here. We stab a couple orange boxes a billion times.
Nope.
And then we're out of the warehouse.
And on to some kind of ship dock where we immediately get a call.
It's Nick, the team member not having hot poker shoved down his pants. Nick tells us that John is a
hostage on the ship.
How does he know this? Was John allowed to make a call between pummelings?
We find the ship and jump on. And lucky us.
The ship seems to
Pulls
have
from the dock as soon as we board.
Almost feel sorry for these bad guys. Stuck at sea with me, Solid Snake, the sneak dude, the mad demon of stealthy snoopification.
Are you serious?
Now, you may have noticed that we're approaching enemies and trying to take them out in very distinct patterns. That's because at this point, we've kind of figured out that enemies are alerted by Snake if he's in their field of vision orthogonally.
That is to say, if Snake is directly in front, behind, or to the sides of an enemy and they face him, they get alerted. For example, when we were riddled with bullets a moment ago, we weren't in the soldier's field of vision until our punch pushed Snake into it.
That's our bad. Sorry, Snake. No problem, guys. Sneak both of you later. Better watch your backs because sneaks are on their way, yes, sir.
What?
What?
What was that?
Oh, nothing. I swear I'll sneak you so sneakily. Oh gosh, the sneaks are a creepin'. But even knowing how the enemy's cockroach AI ticks, you still can't account for everything that happens in Snake's Revenge. Like this. Screen changes that shove you directly into the enemy sightline.
Oh, how are we supposed to know where the enemy's positioned before we enter the screen? It's impossible to predict.
It turns the first few laps around any new section of the game into a fun, life or death flowchart.
Like so.
Looks like I should have known better than enter from the left. Shame on me for just trying to play this game.
Don't worry, we got real used to the layout of the deck. We poked around, juggling key cards for a while. We got a flare bomb, explosives, truth gas.
We even found other NPCs like a pot that revealed Princess Cool
Moved to
Plan
another
was
place.
in another castle, and an enemy commander that wanted to burn everything to the ground.
Let's destroy the ship and ammo dump.
I like that guy.
And then we march around those same places some more, because honestly, we couldn't figure out what to do next.
Yeah, we snuck over every inch of that deck repeatedly. Juggled cards to re-enter every accessible door, like this one.
And this one.
And this one.
And this one.
We kept poking around, grasping for straws, punching walls in hopes of finding some obtuse secret passage.
After a good 25 minutes of scratching the walls of the ship, we noticed this weird design on the wall, and of course...
Yep, door.
It's a door. Dear gosh. It seems almost stupidly obvious now, but it's not our fault. The game conditioned us to think a door on this ship has to look like this, or this.
Whatever, we finally have access to the lower parts of the ship. All we have to do is hop aboard the jankiest little belt lift in the world.
Okay, wait.
Here.
Hold on.
Let's try.
We got this.
Are you
One
sure?
more time.
Yay!
We start exploring and get a call from Captain Whirlybird. He's apparently coming to save us from this nautical nightmare. Good.
But we're not safe yet. Look,
Here are
three
three graves
graves.
for you. know what that means?
Not a clue.
Looks like we stumbled into boss fight number 2, the husky lemon grenade guys.
These yellow
Whack a
porkers
lemon
throw
guy.
blammo balls all over the place.
Yeah,
This is not exactly an easy space to dodge their blasts.
Yeah.
You gotta keep moving and do your best not to retread the same area. Even then, you'll probably take loads of damage.
Soon, we started making a bit of headway, taking out one chunk after another. One more to go. Make him Swiss cheese, Snake.
Wait, what?
So what? How did I die there? Wait, I mean...
I don't understand. We were doing so well. What the heck happened?
Whatever. One more time. We got this.
Wait, what? Did they
There.
just...
One last creep
Okay, I was
on the
about to say,
ropes.
did they take... Oh, you're kidding me. You can dive for the holes!
We won. I mean, we died, but we won.
Wait a sec. I think I know what's wrong here. Look at the floor. Holes.
Oh, 3 holes. It all makes sense now.
What do you mean? No, it doesn't. The bosses chuck grenades from those very spots unscathed. And I'm pretty sure we ran through at least one of those holes earlier without issue. How do the death holes work?
Some stupids are best left unstupided.
Stupid.
My friend,
That's over?
it's over. We
Finally.
got key card 3.
Yay! Another
A
key
third
card
one.
to cycle through on every single door in the game.
Our new key card allows us access to a mine detector.
Further below the deck, we find a shipment
Huh?
of what appears to be several mech-like super weapons.
Ding, 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 ding. We can
Gears.
finally confirm it. Snake's Revenge has real deal Metal Gears.
This is
Woo!
the
Finally.
happiest disappointment I can ever feel right now.
In another room, we find a huge ammunition cache. I think we all know what we gotta do.
Boom, boom.
Hooray! Our eye in the sky rings and tells us
Okay.
to skedaddle.
We gotta go fast. We use our radar for the first and only time in the game to race the clock and rally with our helicopter friend outside. Mission accomplished.
Congratulations, Metal Gear is destroyed, but we have confirmed the existence of Metal Gear 2. Now Nick is missing. Contact your person at the enemy's base.
Metal Gear 2.
Wait, there's
What?
more game? No!
Old snaky baby booties reporting for duty. Great. We've got more crappy sneaks to do, and now Nick and John are missing.
Snake's in some kind of war-torn section of Terristan. We march along until...
What the?
Ground explodes. Guess that's
Oh,
the
we
game
got
letting
mines.
us know there are landmines in this section. Thanks. Now I know mine booms. Anyone seen the ankle?
We break out the mine detector and search around carefully.
And you blew up. Now what?
Rats. Looks like our transceiver's out of juice. Our coworkers
How?
weren't exactly knocking the ball out of the park with helpful hints anyway.
Keeping an eye out for annoying mines, we
Ow.
eventually decide to see if we can clear them without hurting Snake.
Huh? Wait, what the? Okay. How did he get
Taunting
there?
us for freaking experimentation. Everyone, Snake
I
found
hate this
ankle.
game. I
When
hate
he
Konami.
sleeps now.
Why was some rapid-fire rocket soldier hunched under a pile of sandbags? How long was he smushed under there waiting to be unleashed?
You know,
I don't
one of the
know.
answers. When we continue, we find a battery. Looks like we can get our transceiver back up and running. Let's see what that call from earlier is about.
The secret entrance must be somewhere on the grounds?
Secret
Wait,
entrance.
so-
Let's explore the area some more.
Found some remote control missiles.
Found another pot. He tells us Nick says to
Be
be
careful
of John.
of John.
What's that supposed to mean?
We keep searching the different doors in the area. We find more ammo, more equipment, but no sign of that secret entrance Flyboy was going on about.
The
You don't think it's under the
secret entrance
salmon?
Must be somewhere on the grounds. Yeah, we looked, buddy. No doing.
Wait, on the grounds? You don't think he means undergrounds?
Guess we have to blow up every sandbag in the zone until we find an entrance.
Great! Looks like there's a rocket soldier parked under every single one of these things. And look, their rockets are heat seekers.
Also, the enemy seems to have invented a handheld launcher that fires projectiles almost as fast as Snake can fire a handgun.
How?
Impressive.
Screw this. Time to fight fire with fire. We use our remote-controlled rockets to slowly take out the enemy one at a time. Loads of fun.
It isn't until we've almost given up hope that we kablooey the last sandbags, take out the soldier, and find
The secret entrance. Oh yeah!
Oh no.
Not another one of those terrible controlling 2D sections! Ah!
We gotta head underwater and pray our full oxygen tank takes us to the other side.
What?
Great. The underwater tunnel is gated? Our oxygen? No! How are we supposed to get past this thing?
And we're dead again.
You know, I don't think we've ever played a game so passionately set on preventing the player from continuing the game at every turn. It's gotta be
It's like
done
it's
on
trying to
purpose,
stop
right?
us.
How do we take out the grate and get the snakester to
Plastic
the other
explosive?
side? Plastic explosives. Too easy? Well, here's another grate you have to
Oh,
hesitate
boy.
at while you wait for it to disintegrate. Neat.
Even when you make it through, there's still more of that crappy controlling 2D gauntlet gameplay to rigidly hop and shoot through. Finally, we're out.
Sure.
Oh, hey, another canister of oxygen would have been very helpful 10 minutes ago.
We burst back into daylight and immediately get a call. It's
Yep.
John. He's been captured, but he set up a transmitter on some train. Yeah, don't worry, buddy. We're on our way.
Wait, didn't that rescued prisoner
yeah, be careful,
warn us
John.
about John earlier?
Oh, come on. It's John. You know, John. Look at him. Lovable scamp. Don't you just want to tussle that hair? I think we should be cautious. Yeah, sure. Oh boy, trains. John was just talking about a train. How convenient.
Right, that's what we're saying. It's a little too convenient.
Be careful.
Right?
Shh, hold on. We're getting another call. Ooh, maybe it's John. Let's see here.
No
There
trap on the
is
train.
no trap on the train. You can't be serious.
Serious,
no
dude.
trap? Thanks, John. It's great that he's always looking out for us like that, telling us of places with no trap. Hey, fellas.
Yeah?
I don't think John's seen this room. We've got pattern-based stabbing floors jutting in and out of existence. Not easy to traverse, even when you think you've got the pattern memorized. We run forward to the next car. Almost immediately, there's another ring to our transceiver.
Now
Take a
what?
wild guess who's on the other end. John?
I'm in the third
it's
car.
John.
There are no
I'm in
enemies.
the third car. There are no enemies here. Thank gosh. I don't want to deal with enemies. On my way, buddy.
But before we make it to John, we find ourselves in a mini boss encounter.
You have been trapped. Ha, ha, ha.
The enemy makes use of claymore mines. These fire off chunks of wide-range shrapnel that is a nuisance to avoid. Luckily, we have a machine gun and plenty of health. It's not a long battle.
Moving along, we find another room with an ammo crate at the far end. When we swagger on over to grab the goods, we
Wait,
don't have a fraction of a second before.
Wait, what?
Guys, call me crazy, but I'm starting to think John is not being totally upfront about the safety of this train.
You think?
You think?
Ha, ha, ha.
We carefully work our way through more cars. Despite being on edge, it's almost impossible to avoid floor traps in this section. They happen incredibly quickly.
Luckily, we learn from our deaths. We find a new keycard to expand our annoying door opening routine.
boy.
We also find an X-ray camera.
In time, we finally get to the person that got us aboard this chugging metal death machine in the first place.
Johnny John, J-Cakes, Juicy Juice. How you doing? Snake, chances are pretty good that this here's a trap. All right, Captain Negativity, geez. Then I'll inch, ever so gingerly, over.
Yep.
John's totally off my Christmas card list.
That's not
Not
John.
John.
In fact, it's a spy.
See?
Another of the game's deadly bosses. He deploys more shrapnel dispersing mines and is capable of absorbing a ton of damage.
Between dodging explosive attacks and doing our best not to fall into that big black void, we died plenty of times here.
Oh boy.
We were eventually able to take him out with more than a few well-placed missiles. And
Fine.
when the dust cleared, something was left behind.
What's that?
A powered
Powered
armor?
armor?
Oh, John.
Wait, armor?
Well, keep your red robot arm thingy close to me always. Feels like only yesterday you were saying, I am not John Turner, I am a spy.
John.
He was pretty great like that. Don't.
The train comes to a stop, and we're out.
Running through more shredded streets, we use our X-ray camera to find weak walls, our powered armor to shift rubble, and plastic explosives to make holes.
For once, we actually feel like a big bad special ops dude. That is, when we're not spinning a Rolodex of key cards at every single door.
Or assuming we can walk forward freely in another side-scrolling section. How silly of us.
Fun fact, when Snake crouches in this part of the game, his shoe color changes from black to ruby red.
If he could only click his heels together,
It's no place like home.
In a better game. Stop scoping my baby feet.
Later, we meet two soldiers, who are probably the worst security guards of all time.
You see anyone? No. Okay.
Oh!
You see anyone?
Oh.
Okay, good.
Then it's back outside where we get a call from Jennifer. She tells us to meet up with her at the main base. You remember Jennifer, right? The foxy spy that's supposed to help Snake?
Actually, I
Yeah,
think
we
that was
haven't
more
seen her.
about Jennifer
Jennifer
and
X,
Manuel.
Nick Myers,
Here,
and GT.
rumor has it that she's the younger sister of Ginger from Gilligan's Island.
What?
I think Kojima knows Metal Gear's linked to a 60s sitcom with a bamboo Geiger counter.
I think if he was involved in
Oh, boy.
any way, he'd at least put Snake and John's character portraits over the correct descriptions.
Back in the game, we come across another wild boss encounter.
Torpedoes?
Whoa,
What the
enormous
hell?
munitions jet by Snake over and over. What the heck's firing at us?
That's when we make two epic discoveries.
1, there's a massive tank gunning us down in the next screen over.
2, the bridge hasn't been safety checked.
If you think that's
Of
stupid,
course.
check out how our next attempt pans out. We decide to cut the crap and run right into the action.
And die just as the next screen pops up. I
Wow.
don't care what anyone says. There is no way to prepare for something like this.
The only way it
You
feels like you
little-
can beat this thing is by placing landmines in spaces it may roll into. But because you can never guess where the tank is located off screen, you get
That.
the Snake smeared into brickwork in the process.
Plant a double-digit barrage of mines just right while avoiding the unreadable tank's off-screen movements, and
There we go.
Get the most satisfying boss bye-bye so far.
with that unfair metal
Moving
behemoth
along.
blasted to scrap, it's time we finally got Snake into the enemy's main base.
The next sections of
Are we almost
Snake's
done?
Revenge are only mildly notable.
We get more cards that prolong the painfully dull door-opening guessing game.
We free more pots and interrogate commanders, finally realizing this eventually ups our rank, increasing Snake's ammo and health limits.
And of course, we die. A lot. Sometimes from our own negligence. Other times for assuming this game was developed with any form of sympathy for the player.
Oh,
Silly us for thinking we can board a gondola by walking right onto the gondola. Of course, we need to hop on top.
Soon, Jennifer gets in touch again from inside the enemy base. She tells us she's found the plans for Metal Gear 2. No, not the plans for a far better sequel. These are plans for a
Rolling.
second Metal Gear weapon that the enemy wants to use to launch nuclear missiles all over the world.
Criminy! We have to hurry and take that thing down!
Hold on. Maybe this pot knows where it is. I'll ask.
God damn it.
Never mind.
As we get closer to what we can only assume is the end of the game, things get more frustrating and very, very weird.
What the? You guys are seeing this, right? Aren't those the guys from
Excuse
the
me,
first
bad
one?
guys. I think your henchmen are broken.
Again.
We soon
Guys,
learn that the leader of this evil organization's
is
only
the
weakness
soles
is
of
the
his
soles
feet.
of his feet.
Whoa. I think I get this guy.
We also enter an area where naked statues smile smugly and launch heat-seeking rockets before looking down at themselves.
Ow.
Look, we told you things get weird.
A little further, and we get another message from Nick that reads, "Lieutenant, it was careless of
Yes,
me.
me.
I
What? What happened to Nick? Was he hurt? Was he just having a hard time remembering what he was careless about?
We don't have to wonder too long because we run into Nick quickly, and our buddy, he's not looking so hot.
What are you talking about? Nick's fine. Look, he's happy to see me. He's pumping his upper back butt with excitement.
We grab another key card and Nick tells us we have discovered that Jennifer is a spy.
This, we're pretty sure, is supposed to read, they have discovered Jennifer's a spy because Jennifer isn't a turncoat. She was caught spying for us and is now held hostage by the enemy.
Anyway, Nick goes on to inform us that a life support system is in Big Boss's room and that he needs to be let out of the room in order to be destroyed.
Huh, okay, so that's how we destroy Big... Wait, What? Big Boss?
That's what it says.
What happened to the characters we read about on the box
Yeah.
and in the
Burn
manual?
it?
Katafi, Kakamami, aren't they the villains? This is the first time we've heard anything about Big Boss being anywhere near this game.
Big Boss was the twist main villain of the original MSX2 and NES versions of Metal Gear. Looks like we're hit with another Big Boss twist in Snake's Revenge.
Wait, but the villain can't be Big Boss. Snake needs to take out Colonel Katafi. Look, it says so on the back of the box. Your two best friends took the brunt of his frenzy and lost their fight to live. Lost their fight to live, man. Snake needs to avenge them. It's why the game's called Snake's Revenge.
Yeah, about that, Katafi, Kakamami, heck, most of the lore on the back of the box or in the manual, it's never brought up in the game. Seems that Snake is never actually out to get revenge in Snake's Revenge.
Perfect.
Why?
The only person that seems to want to settle a score is Big Boss, I guess. Probably still peeved we broke his fancy TV in the first game.
Well then, I say we bring the fight to him.
In order to get to Big Boss, we have to go through a bunch of rooms, all of which have multiple doors. You know what that means?
Oh boy. Key shovel. This is gonna be a while.
Finally, after what felt like hours of poking in and out of menus, we burst into Big
We done?
Boss's main room.
He explains that Snake destroyed Metal Gear 1 and made him a cyborg. Which, okay, sure.
Cyborg?
I guess we'll just have to take his word for it. Time to brawl!
Big Boss isn't exactly the clever war tactician he was made out to be in the other games. Here, he fires a machine gun in Snake's general direction. Easy to avoid after marching behind a pillar. We shoot a couple dozen guided rockets at his face until...
Done. Wait, what the?
he turns into...
A robot?
Holy crap!
Oh, that is
Holograph
RoboCop.
twists keep a coming.
Buff
Big Boss
RoboCop.
is now taller and sassier than ever. He laughs at us and tells us he has no weak point we can penetrate.
Hold on. Weak point, penetrate, weak point, penetrate, weak point, penetrate,
Snake.
penetrate. Hey, didn't we just hear something about a weak point? Oh, right, his Tootsies. You know, canonically, I'm this guy's clone, so all the weird foot stuff in this game is actually making a lot of sense right now. Remembering what we were told about the life support system in his room, we pull Big Boss out of there. Then it's simply a matter of laying out a few landmines under that Achilles heel of his, and...
Hello!
Robo-Boss is no more.
But wait, there's no
What
time to
more?
celebrate. Metal Gear 2 immediately becomes
Operable.
operable, and we're hit with a countdown timer. It's up to us to stop this death machine from raining nukes all over the world.
We find a tied-up Jennifer near Big Boss's final room. She points us to Metal Gear's secret location. There, we once again need to use guided missiles to take the thing out.
Looking at this, you wouldn't think it'd actually be that hard to do, but guiding the missiles through correctly and hitting the front of the mech is a serious pain to accomplish. You have to time every missile's movement ever so precisely.
We lost a lot of missiles trying to take this thing out, but eventually, we cracked the giant robotic walnut wide open.
And ba-boom.
Hey, I killed
We
one.
win!
With Snake having completed his mission, the
finally.
UN declared World Peace Day. Unfortunately, Nick and John didn't make it
MIA.
out of this mission in one piece.
That's too bad. But you know what? I'm not sure we made it out in one piece either.
I get what you mean. A single Snake's Revenge playthrough really takes its toll. A stealth game this broken gnaws at your very core. There's just so many
Amen.
problems.
Terrible stealth,
Splintered story,
unknowable screen transitions,
archaic keycard system,
mega cheap boss fights,
no chance death traps,
awful 2D sections.
and on and on and on.
It's even worse when you consider this. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake was released within a few months of Snake's Revenge. That's 2 sequels to the first Metal Gear launching practically
1
in
year.
tandem.
Yeah, and seeing what was accomplished in Solid Snake compared to what was delivered in Snake's Revenge is mind-boggling.
The MSX2 sequel fixed off-screen enemy placement issues with a radar system that added tactical depth to gameplay.
Enemy AI was enhanced beyond seeing in straight lines. They could lock on to Snake and hunt him down, creating nail-bitingly thrilling stealth moments.
Snake was given new moves like brawling and knocking on surfaces, adding nuance to enemy distraction and world traversal.
There were quality of life improvements like an easier to navigate communication system and simplified access to items.
And look at this, they consolidated key cards. Good golly gosh, you didn't need to test a gazillion key cards on every freaking door.
We're just scratching the surface here, people. There's an honest-to-goodness, compelling story, great fourth wall-breaking moments, and constant clever twists to gameplay that keep the experience feeling fresh even all these years later. It is a fundamental mega leap in quality over its predecessor.
Look, the MSX2 and NES were two very different platforms. Each had strengths and limitations that would inevitably shape a different sequel to Metal Gear.
What we got in Snake's Revenge didn't try to build on ideas from the NES Metal Gear release. It regurgitated many of its mistakes and took a big, sloppy step backwards in terms of story, gameplay, and fun.
But don't forget, without its existence, Kojima might not have been inspired to pitch another entry of Metal Gear, spawning a continuation that built into one of the most beloved video game series of all time.
Oh yeah, it totally did that.
Point.
This game, Snake's Revenge, put us through the pain. It's time for us to get vengeance. It's time for us to drop the controller, walk away, and alert the world. Snake's Revenge?
It's just bad. Yeah. And it doesn't help that Nintendo is re-releasing, like, both versions of the game. Like, that's saying something. Oh boy. So, what do you guys think of Snake's Revenge? I mean, like I said, Snake looks like he has jaundice. The stealth is, like, non-existent. What the heck? Jeez, it's just way too brutal. I know the NES was tough, but dang it, didn't have to be that tough. Well, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Until next time, like, subscribe for more. I'll see you around for the next one. Later.